You can put multiple extracurricular activities on a resume or your college application. Often students ask me for examples of extracurricular activities for high schoolers. Today, we are going to talk about the various types of activities, when you can get involved with them, and the next steps that you can take. I'm Courtney, and I am the founder of Confused to College Ready. With over 16 years experience, my goal is to help you navigate the college search process with ease and be confident in your next steps. According to Wikipedia, the definition of extracurricular activities is an activity that falls outside the realm of normal curriculum of school. Such activities are generally voluntary as opposed to mandatory, social, philanthropic, and also involve others of the same age. So today, what I want to do is we're actually going to talk about the 5 W's and an H of extracurricular activities. So that's your who, what, when, where, why, and how. So we are going to dive deep into that and talk about how students can get involved in their school and in the community. So let's start first with who. Who should get involved in extracurricular activities? Are there extracurricular activities that are only for certain students? So with this, extracurricular activities are a fantastic way for students to get connected to others during their high school years. A lot of people will say that is one of the things that they enjoyed most about high school was having that connection, having those peer groups, and being able to be involved. There are many different types of different extracurricular activities, and some of that is going to depend on what students are interested in. Schools might have clubs or sports that students can get involved in without any prerequisites or requirements. Others might require a tryout, an audition. Students may need to interview, have completed certain courses, or have a certain GPA to be eligible to attend. But I strongly believe that everyone should get involved in those extracurricular activities. Our next question is, what is considered an extracurricular activity? Does this have to be something that is done only at school, or can it be done outside of school? So any of these activities can actually be sponsored by the school, or they can be something that students are doing in the community. Sometimes students have family commitments where they are needing to work or be employed based on serving and helping their family. Other times it might be something where they want to work so that they are able to have some extra income and something that they are involved in outside of the school day. Other examples include athletics, so any different sports team, and sometimes that might be a club team outside of school in the community, and other times it might be a school team. Other things include the fine arts, so band, theater, dance, any kind of visual art. So visual and performing arts are other great ways to get involved, different clubs. And again, some of those might be something where there are some different requirements that students have to meet. Some of them are going to be just solely based on what you would enjoy. A lot of students get involved in different volunteer activities, or they work somewhere in the community, and that might be something that's part of a group at school where you're required to get some service hours, or it might be something that students are exploring just as part of something that they enjoy or something that they're passionate about. Some people will even look into founding, being a founding member of a club or volunteer organization where they're able to give back with something that's important to them. There are so many other opportunities that are available to students. So if you have something that you're passionate about, something that you enjoy, look at your school list of different clubs, look in the community, ask other people that you're connected with. And if you're not quite sure, maybe just take a look at that different list and see what you might be most interested in doing. All right, number 3, our third W is when. When should you start getting involved in those extracurricular activities? This is something that I would encourage students to start getting involved with early in high school. Some sports or clubs might even allow students to begin in middle school, and there often are things that students do that they enjoy in middle school as well. So I would encourage you to get involved early and be consistent with those activities. You can change your mind about where you want to be involved and what you want to do, but having that consistency is something that on that college application is going to look wonderful. If you're not involved with any extracurricular activities yet, that is okay. Now is a great time to explore your interests. The other thing I will caution you on is you don't want to be involved in 500 different things and end up feeling like you are overwhelmed with your schoolwork, with the extracurricular activities to a point where it's impacting your mental health or the work that you're doing in school. So you do need to find a healthy balance. If that's something that you feel like you're struggling with, make sure that you talk to your parents, make sure that you talk to a counselor. That is something that we are here to be able to support you, and we don't want it to be something that you're totally overwhelmed with. All right, number 4, where can you get involved? So schools have a variety of extracurricular options. Like we talked about, there are different sports teams, clubs, fine art activities, volunteer opportunities. There might be things in the community, different volunteer opportunities there as well, summer camps, working over the summer, volunteering with different groups that might be serving in your community, serving people in need, working with different advocacy groups, activities involved with your religious organization if you are part of one, different fine arts events, athletic events. There are so many different things that students can do to be involved. It does not have to be something where you are only limited to one thing. All right, so the next one, number 5, is why is it important to get involved in extracurricular activities? So we touched on this a little bit earlier. Getting involved in those activities, whether it be in the school or your community, can be a lot of fun. That's something that many people look back on their middle school and high school experience and even going into college, and they have good memories of the things that they were able to do with that club involvement or the involvement in the different activities. So when you apply to jobs or to colleges, you also can talk about that involvement. You can share, if it's, you're going into your first job interview, maybe you haven't had experience working in that particular field, but you can relate positive experiences and challenges that you have dealt with in some of those with that extracurricular involvement. This also is going to show that you can balance things like schoolwork and the activities that you're involved in. Like we talked about, you want to have a good balance where you're still able to maintain your grades, but also have fun. High school is meant to be a time of fun for you, and we want to make sure that you have everything that you need to do that. The last part of the why is that colleges are looking at those activities to see how you contributed to your school and your community. And this also is going to help them see how you might make an impact at their college. So you want to really be able to tell the story of who are you? What are you involved in? Why are you involved in those things? And are you going to be able to bring any of those things to that particular college so that you are going to make a contribution there as well? All right, and then the last one is how. So how do you know what extracurricular activities are going to be a good fit? How many activities do you need to be involved with? So the first thing I want you to do is consider your interests. There might be a tabletop gaming club at your school and you really enjoy playing games as a family or with your friends. There might be different sports or other clubs that are available. Maybe you enjoy reading, or you're an artist, or you want to be involved in theater or band, or you have a sport that you are incredibly passionate about. Being able to get involved in that is a great way to get started. You also can find out the different honor societies that are available on your campus and know what the requirements are to join those. So maybe it is Beta Club, and that Beta Club isn't going to open up for students until sophomore year. Or maybe it's the National Art Honor Society, and once you've taken one arts course, one of the visual arts classes, then you're able to be admitted and enlisted into that club. You can also look into different volunteer work, both on and off campus. Some clubs, actually, that's a huge part of what they do, is they go out into the community and they serve, or they might go serve at local schools. Explore different things that are going on in your community, and it might be something where you're checking in with your counseling department, where you are talking to various members of, if you have a career development facilitator who is on staff that you can check in with, or just contacting a local organization that you feel like you might want to learn more about. If you attend religious institutions, you can also see what kind of opportunities are available for you to get involved there. And maybe there is something that's related to your culture that you are very passionate about and you want to be able to serve in that capacity. So there are so many different ways that you can get involved, and I would strongly encourage you to start early and keep a list of those different activities. And we'll talk more about how to track that in a future podcast episode. But today I really wanted to do, like I said, to do that deep dive into the who, what, when, where, why, and how of getting involved in those extracurricular activities. So I hope this has been helpful. If so, please leave us a review. I would love to hear from you about this topic, if it was beneficial to you, if there are other things that you want to hear about. Also, if it was helpful, please share it with others. I would love to be able to continue to grow the podcast and serve. We actually have had the podcast out for almost a year, which is hard to believe. So I am super excited to be able to continue to grow with you all. If you haven't already, you also can download our free guide on how to get started with your college search or what next steps to take if you've already started. You can find that at www.confusedtoready.com/how to start. I look forward to talking with you next time. Take care.